All right, what am I doing with the hula hoop? Well, we're going to talk about ball position. How is it going to help you master the curve of your shots? Let's get into it. Hey everybody, Scott Oaken coming at you. We're out here at Stony Creek, and so we're going to talk a little bit about ball position here today. So ball position has a big impact on what the golf ball is going to do, and we're going to talk about why that is. Now, most people, when they are working on their golf swing, if you're working on your swing, I like to get people to learn to put the ball in a consistent spot and have them work from there, because as you'll see, it can affect some of the dynamics that are going on in your swing. And so if you're trying to watch a ball flight or get a radar number, it could change based on where that ball is at in your stance. But if you're somebody that's trying to go play and play shots on the course, I think you should be able to work from a variety of ball positions. I think a lot of people think, oh, I have the ball in the wrong spot, so I'm going to hit really, really bad shots. I think you should be able to hit the ball from a variety of spots and be able to hit it solid. But as we're going to talk here, it's going to affect the flight that you get, which you can use to your advantage if you know what it's going to do. So first off, let's talk about the way I think most people think about ball position is they think about ball position in terms of trajectory. And that is one of the ways that it can affect your shots. So if I've got my hula hoop here, this is just going to represent basically the arc of our swing. Okay, our swing is kind of a circular motion, both in this plane and also our plane that we have from behind the camera here. But what happens is when we move the ball, if I go more forward, I'm going to catch the ball more on a level to upward type arc. And also by the time I come back to the ball, I can add loft. Loft will be added to that shot. And so it's going to send it up higher. As I go back with it, I'm going to see that I'm going to catch it more on a downward arc. I'm going to catch it where the club hasn't had time to re-loft itself. So I'm going to catch it with less loft, and then typically I'm going to hit the ball lower. Now, that again is something that I see that people mess that one up all the time. Like if they're going to punch one under a tree or they're going to hit like a low chip, they will put the ball forward, but then try to do some maneuvering to make it go lower. And since you're fighting the natural tendency of what the ball is going to want to do, then you're not going to actually, you're going to have to do something really funny to make it work. And that's when really bad shots come from it. So getting that part down, that's really simple, but one that again, I see messed up quite a bit as they go through. Now, as far as what happens from a different perspective, moving the ball forward and back actually can affect where that ball is going to curve. So if we change to this view and we look at the swing from this plane, if I move the ball back in my stance, okay, because the swing is a circle, it's supposed to be a circle around us. If I move the ball back in my stance, the point when I'm catching the ball on the circle is this part of the circle that is moving outward, okay? So as long as the face is relatively square, that means we're going to have a path that's more in to out. If the face is relatively square or closed to that path, you are going to see more of a draw shot. So it's easier to hit a draw when the ball is back. A lot of times people get that one confused as well, and that's a little easier to confuse because they move it forward, trying to square the face a lot. But what happens when you move it forward now is I'm catching the ball on the part of the circle which is now moving left, which that's the direction that makes the slice happen. So they end up closing the face, but then they'll hit a lot of pulls and pull slices when they do that. And so you really want to know, hey, if I'm trying to work on my draw, I'm trying to work on swinging into out, it actually can be a little bit more helpful to move that ball back and then go ahead and try to catch that club on that part of the arc, or the ball on that part of the arc. And that one draws really nicely for us. So you want to make sure you understand how that ball position gets affected as you go through the arc. Now, when I hit these shots, it also comes down to when I'm a player out there, hey, I need to hit a lower one. Well, it's going to be easier to hit it lower and have some sort of draw, or it's going to tend to want to draw. If I move it back, you got to be careful. The ball is going to want to go more to the left, okay, because of that path. Again, as long as you're squaring it up, or you might push it if you leave the face open. If you want to hit it higher, it's a lot easier if you hit it higher if you want to hit some sort of a fade. So let's say you're coming in over a bunker and you want to put the ball up way in the air so it comes down really soft. Well, I'm going to try to play some more of a fade type shot, because that's what this is going to want to do. I can make the same swing, but that's the flight I'm going to get because of where that ball is positioned on the circle. So it's just really important to understand how the dynamics of that swing work. And again, if you move the ball around, I think you should be able to hit it for shot making purposes on the course. But if I'm working on my swing, I want to get that ball in a consistent spot, because that's going to show me a consistent flight, and it's going to show me, hey, I'm getting my swing. If I'm moving it around, I could be making the same swing and getting different flights, and that's going to confuse me as I'm trying to build some confidence in my new swing. So ball position, really, really important, something you really want to understand, again, from a shot making standpoint, but also just from, I need to understand the basic rules of how a ball flight and a golf swing work. So if you have questions about it, please leave a comment down below. And as always, if you're not a subscriber already, click that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.